Eric. Good to see you.
What's up, Eric? How you doing, man?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we know. We know just how great you are, my brother. We know exactly how great you are. If you don't believe me, Vincent,
please.
I went out to dinner with this dude maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was in town for Epoch.
Yes.
And, well, he was already here.
Right.
And I was already at the restaurant when him and Stephen Harris,
yes,
longtime missionary,
yeah,
came into the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I didn't see them because I was sitting, you know, with my back to the door.
Right.
But I noticed all female heads turn.
It was a commotion.
There was a commotion in the force.
Yes.
As this aura came walking into the tavern.
Oh yeah.
Who had this cologne.
Okay.
I swear, Vincent, the cologne was titled "Fuck Me."
Okay.
Because it was the man walked up and he was just glowing. And behind him was Stephen Harris just picking up numbers that was just laying at his feet.
Right. Kind of like they had to come out mid-concert for
exactly
like Teddy Pendergrass and sweep all the panties off the stage. Yeah.
That's Eric Battle.
Yeah,
That's
there
Eric
you go.
Battle. Now, you might ask, well, he's in Philadelphia. Why isn't he sitting here live with us?
I just assumed the panties would get in the way of the camera where people would throw panties and we couldn't. I just assumed it was a technical issue.
Well, it is a technical issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Eric, admittedly, a hard-working artist, is working too hard to be ready for the YouTube cameras. Oh, he's ready for a Zoom camera. But in Eric's own words, Len, I missed my appointment to get my eyebrows threaded, so I won't be able to be in studio.
Sure.
Those were his exact words to me, Vincent. I'm not making them up.
Well, you got to keep him. Keep him.
Hilarious.
So there you go. Well, we're glad to have you on Zoom.
I'm glad to be here again. Thank you, Len, for whatever that was. Thank you.
You know what, Eric? Sometimes you just let them talk.
Yep.
You know, at some point it's going to run out. You just sort of go with it. You throw in a little ad lib every now and then to let people know that you're paying attention and that you're not a deer caught in headlights. But you just go along with it, you know.
True enough. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, E. Thank you for joining us. And in all seriousness, Eric Missionaries is an outstanding comic book artist. You the work that you did for DC and Marvel. I mean, and I know you've left your big time independent now, but it's been some time. But did you do work on was it? I think you did do some work on Batman, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Did a couple of issues of Batman. I did a Wonder Woman annual. I did an eight issue series called Tales of the Unexpected featuring the Spectre.
Yes, that Spectre one. Yeah, that was.
Did some Aquaman stuff. And actually, one of the characters that I designed during my run on Aquaman was featured in that second Aquaman movie.
Really?
Yeah. So I got a screen credit for that.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Okay. All right. Did you get residuals with that too?
I did.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, okay. All right. Told you. That's how he do.
Yes, that's what I hear.
Listen, I got a screen credit. Yeah, you can see me in the movies. Yeah. I do. But But one of the things in talking to you, what I hadn't realized as long as we have known each other, is that you absolutely love horror movies. Like, where does this love of horror movies come from?
Just like even I like the feeling of like that when you get that knot in the pit of your stomach,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're looking at a movie or reading, reading a novel. It's like when I was younger, I would read horror novels, and the first time I got the novel Stephen King's novel Cujo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I read it in one night because
Wow.
I used to be so mesmerized by the cover artwork, which
Mm-hmm.
was it was a close up of a dog's muzzle, foaming at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, when I used to go to the mall with my mother and my grandmother, and I would always run to the books, the book department because again, I was an avid reader, but I was just so entranced by the cover artwork on that novel. So one Christmas, I got it as a Christmas present, and I read the whole thing in one night, and but yeah, I love the feeling of being unsettled,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and just like that something that can like move me to that degree. Yeah, I just love that feeling.
Okay.
Did you have like a favorite horror film growing up? One that like stayed with you?
Oh, absolutely. So there are a couple of movies that I watch. I tend to watch at least once a year, and
Mm-hmm.
every time I watch them, I always ask myself, why am I doing this to myself?
Mm-hmm.
So like The Exorcist is one because I think that's like the perfect horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's really scary.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that and it may not be classified as a horror movie, but Requiem for a Dream is just like it's just utterly disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
Sort of tonally, it's horror.
was oh yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that one a more recent one is Hereditary. I think Hereditary is just like one of the like contemporary perfect horror movies.
Yeah.
Um
That's probably one of the most recent instant classics that people
yeah.
point to.
Yeah.
Hereditary.
And there's another one that came out a couple of years ago called Anything for Jackson. If you haven't seen that yet, you need to check that out.
Anything for Jackson? I'm not familiar
Yes.
with this one.
Okay.
Yes. It came out during the pandemic, and I was able to catch it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Do you try and see all horror movies?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay.
So like the thing is like I like real horror. I don't like slasher movies. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like uh I don't like torture porn type of
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like things that like whether it's creatures, possession, um, those sorts of things. I don't like people just being mean to one another.
Okay.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Okay.
Did either of you did you y'all see they released the trailer, a teaser trailer for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein?
Yes.
It's going to be on
Yes.
Netflix.
Yeah.
What do y'all think of that?
I am cautiously optimistic. Like I love the fact that they started in the ice,
Mm-hmm.
like in the
Mhm.
novel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, E?
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean Guillermo
Absolutely.
del Toro, like
Yeah.
to see him playing
Yeah.
with and I think is it Oscar
I was
Isaac?
gonna say, and the casting of Oscar Isaacs looks
Yeah.
perfect.
It's Doctor
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be incredible. And we were talking because you actually just saw a film, a horror film, just the other
Bring her
day.
back. Yes, bring her back.
Bring Her Back, which
Oh, how was that?
It's amazing. It's amazing. So there was only one other person in the theater with me, which was perfect because nobody saw me like screaming and jumping.
are you a
Because they
are
were
you a
that
jumper?
person was sitting ahead of me, and
Right.
I was
Right.
sitting in the back. That movie is amazing. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's heartbreaking. The visuals are incredible. Yeah, I would definitely go see that again.
Now, when you say it's brutal, are you tying the brutality to the heartbreak, or are you saying like brutal as far as like with the violence in it?
All of that.
Oh, okay.
This because it's got a solid story, a really really solid story.
I mean, the trailer was amazing. The trailer sold it.
Yeah, yeah. But again, the visuals and what the characters go through. There are so many moments where you're just like, damn. So yeah.
I was telling you, E, I saw this movie this weekend, Vincent, called Friendship.
Okay.
Starring
Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Man, it's not a horror film,
right?
But it's creepy as F.
It
is creepy as F, man. But it's funny.
I love Tim Robinson.
It is funny.
Yeah, I'm rewatching The Detroiters right now, actually.
Yeah, I did. You told me about that, and I did like The Detroiters.
Yeah.
This is definitely it's got a lot of that Detroiters tone to it, but it goes left, man.
Okay.
And it gets dark.
Okay, that's on my list.
It
actually
gets dark, and Kate Mara is in it too. She does good work in it.
Nice.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that was good. That was really good. All right. E, we're going to get into the show.
Settle back.
Settle back. Enjoy the ride. Chime in get in where you fit in.
Get in where you fit in.
But right now we are going to hear from our listeners, or as we like to call it,
missives from the missionaries.
So what else is going on, Len?
We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Ooh. Missives from the missionaries.
Missives from the missionaries, Vincent. We have an email from Robert Kaplowitz.
Hey, Robert.
Morning, gentlemen. Rob Kaplowitz from West Philly here.
Hey, West Philly representing.
West Philly, born and raised. I've been thinking about your recent debate about whether a black director automatically makes a film black.
Okay, excellent.
Which we did have a debate about that.
Yes,
real quick.
Ongoing debate.
Quick, Eric. Does a black director make a movie a black film?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Rob continues. I'm nervous about stepping into this as a white guy.
Okay. All right.
But was thinking maybe a perspective as someone who has been adopted into the black film family rather than being raised in it could be useful.
Okay.
What if it's less about the script, the race of the director, or an individual performer, and more about whether authentic expressions of black culture have an impact on the substance of the movie? And what if, in the other direction, a veneer of black culture or the presence of a black actor as a lead or director doesn't necessarily make the movie black? An example. I think that the French noir Incensia pour l'effort, which I may be mispronouncing.
Okay.
Which is all white on screen, yet directed by Louis Malle, is so propelled by Miles Davis' score that it's more of a black film than the Ralph Macchio vehicle Crossroads. Crossroads is based on Robert Johnson's legend. We've talked about this film. Is a film about the blues, and the co-lead is Joe Seneca.
Yeah.
So it should be a black film. But Seneca's Willie Brown and the blues are all experienced through a very white lens.
Absolutely.
And while I love Ry Cooder's music, it is not the sound of the Black South. It's about dusty desert loneliness. On the other hand, Miles Davis' horn and Essentia is the aching cry of a man who had to leave his own country just to be treated with dignity and respect. The impact of Miles' artistry, which is unquestionably black, on the landscape of Essentia changes the entire experience of watching the movie. Anyhow, thanks for inviting everyone who loves movies into this conversation. Your fan, Rob.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
I think that's interesting.
It's a very interesting. I haven't seen the French film that
Me
he's talking,
neither.
but before scheduling got jammed up, I actually wanted to review Crossroads this month,
Right.
and compare and contrast it to Sinners, because as Rob said, I do think the way the blues are used in Crossroads is complicated, and to his point, I don't know if I would call Crossroads a black movie, even though it is certainly about very black themes.
Yeah.
And black, as you said, it's very loosely based on Robert Johnson, and anything with Joe Seneca, we're up for. So, look, I think the winner of this debate is everyone, because we get to talk about it back and forth. So, thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And thanks for the suggestion of the French film, because now I want to see that.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
All right. We have another email.
Okay.
This is from Michael Sykes.
Hey, what's up, Michael?
Hello, Vincent, Len, and missionaries.
Okay.
I just watched your review of The Help,
Oh my God.
which we reviewed last week. What actually I reviewed. Vincent ranted about last week.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Michael continues. And while Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer delivered outstanding performances, Octavia truly earned that Oscar.
Look. All right, look.
That's where the praise ends. This film is a masterclass in erasure.
Yes.
Black maids are depicted not as full human beings, but as silent, servile props to white narratives. Their voices aren't just secondary or tertiary, they're quinary, barely acknowledged at all. The broader black struggle, the civil rights movement, the systemic oppression, completely sidelined in favor of white redemption arcs. And the portrayal of black men, absolutely disgraceful. They're shown as absent, abusive, or entirely invisible, reinforcing damaging stereotypes without any counterbalance. Minnie's line about black men leaving their families like trash in a dump is a vile, sweeping generalization that the film lets slide without challenge. It's not just offensive, it's a blatant perpetuation of harmful myths. In reality, countless black men in the 60s were fighting for their families, their rights, and their lives amidst rampant discrimination and violence. To reduce their experiences to baseless stereotypes is not only inaccurate, but deeply disrespectful. As I write this, listening to the Watts prophets, my blood boils. Thank you for shedding light on the truth behind this film. If The Help and Malibu's Most Wanted were people on fire, I wouldn't waste spit to douse them. I just laugh like a villain watching their plan unfold. Stay strong, stay true, brothers, and stay real. Right on. Love your fan, Michael Sykes.
Thank you, Michael. I have nothing to add to what Michael said.
Me neither.
He is right.
He is right. Have you seen The Help,
Speaking of horror stories,
Eric?
If that wasn't the kind of movie that I was going to run out to see, just because, like, everything that gentleman kind of listed, it's like, I'm not fond of movies where servants and again, black men are depicted in negative ways and those sorts of things. So I remember seeing it, but I don't remember much about it, and it was not the kind of movie I was going to go back and give a second look to.
I hear you. Where are you on Driving Miss Daisy?
I've never seen that. I've never watched that.
protect your peace, brother. You don't need to see. You don't need to.
So I've never seen that, and I've never seen, what was it, The Butler or something?
The Butler.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker. I've never seen that either.
I've never seen it either, but I know it's going to be coming somewhere down the line on this crazy show of ours.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll watch it then, and I'll invite you over. You can come watch it. All right, we've got one more email. This is from Michael Lockett.
Hey, what's up, Michael?
Len, Vincent, and my fellow missionaries. I'm a celebratory guy.
Okay.
So now that we have officially left Mother May I,
yes, we have.
Let us raise a glass of your favorite beverage and observe a moment of silence for those who did not make it through. I was almost among them with the final May come down, The Help.
Yeah.
This movie is repulsive, offensive, poorly done, unnecessary, and painful. Len, thank you so much for giving the deep cuts on the book author and director. The Help period in this country is very instructive of how warped every creative outlet is by white delusion. I literally turned this thing off because I was enraged and had to come back to finish. Thank the ancestors that Mr. Peabody gave me the access code to the Wayback Machine, and I traveled to see you to critique Watermelon Man.
Yeah.
I really love the inventiveness in this film, hiding in plain sight with numerous historical references and tropes. Melvin Van Peebles undoubtedly stepped up his game from his earlier efforts. Len, just give the man his due for this one. I did. I'm not saying it deserves to be in the Obsidian collection of perfect black films, but it is a good premise, and it's done with a deft hand. Absolutely.
And D'Urville Martin's in it. Well, there you go. Being a little meh over the full slate of films coming this summer, I started looking at books and book series to dig into for the dog days. All right. Being a comics and mythology completist at heart, I thought, why not binge read all of Rodney Burns' works? Oh, yeah. So if you guys had to rank his strongest runs or series, what would be the top 3 or 4? For missionaries not familiar with Mr. Barnes, he has done Blackula, Philadelphia, Batman Full Moon, which I have not read yet, Nita Hawk's Nightmare Blog, Florence and Normandy, Monarch, Quinn Credible, Quest to be Best, James Bond Heroes, Army of Darkness 1979, Falcon Take Flight, Star Wars Lando Double or Nothing, Star Wars The Mandalorian, which is an actual adaptation of the Disney Plus show, and Star Wars Inquisitors. All the best, Michael. Are you familiar with the creator Rodney Barnes?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Philadelphia is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. We've talked about it on here. Love Philadelphia.
Well, I'm sure that you probably put that number 1.
Yeah. And and we've talked about it. I we're on record. Did you read his Blackula graphic novel? I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. Like, I would love to see both of those, like film versions of both of those.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, talk about a movie that is aching to be remade. That is Blackula.
Yeah.
A reboot of Blackula.
And Monarch is good too. Monarch's a graphic novel about some kids.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's really good too.
So
and that Lando Calrissian miniseries was fun. Double or Nothing.
Lando Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
it was fun.
Interesting to see that he doing some Star Wars work.
Right.
That Disney money.
And for me to say that, because I'm very hit or miss with Star Wars.
I'm not a big.
Yeah, but Double or Nothing really kind of the spirit of what much like Blackula. Like you kind of see the potential, but it's never always on screen.
Yeah,
that's what you got with Lando Double or Nothing.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah, I'm not familiar with most of his work. And I knew him primarily as a horror type of guy, and I'm not a big horror comic.
You're not a horror comic guy. Yeah.
So I just kneel that y'all say Philadelphia is great.
Oh yeah.
I looked at it.
Fantastic.
I said, this looks fantastic, but I do not need this nightmare fuel in my house.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I am
Oh, so you're not a horror fan.
I'm a horror fan as far as like movies, but like I'm hit or miss on horror TV because usually it's it's based on like the budget, what the budget will allow. And as far as horror comics, because y'all can just go for it, like, you know, there's no budget in it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't
Like you close it and it's just sitting there.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
table.
man. I don't,
Like it's just sitting there waiting for you to open it.
nah, man. Look, dude. Like, to the closest I came to horror, and it was horror, like on a consistent basis, was the Walking Dead comic book, right?
Okay.
And I enjoyed the Walking Dead comic book.
That's not that close at all.
Well, no, because I know there's horror that goes like
Right.
left of that. However, in reading the Walking Dead, and I know you read the Walking
Yeah, I
Dead.
read it.
When it gets to the point when Negan
Yeah.
kills what's it
Glenn.
Glenn kills Glenn, and it's a full page of his head just disintegrated.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what?
So, you were done?
I maybe bought 2 more issues of The
Yeah,
Walking Dead. And I was
yeah.
like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good. I don't. Again, I do not need nightmare fuel like in my house.
Eric, what's a good horror comic? What's the last good horror comic you read?
I think it's Philadelphia. Again, you know, I have every issue of that series. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
So I
Philadelphia
haven't read the werewolf. What was it? Full Moon or whatever? What is
Yeah,
it
me
called?
either.
That's Batman.
Yeah, I
Full
think
Moon.
I didn't really connect the dots that was him.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
he just wrote it.
Well, see, I haven't gotten that yet. Just I do plan on getting that because from what I understand, he with that story, Rodney Barnes has picked up where there was, I guess back in the
70s.
it's 70s maybe, there was a Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams short story that I think Rodney Barnes has picked up that story with that particular werewolf character. So I'm really interested to see how those connect.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, you know, I'm a Batman head.
Well,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
Batman and werewolves.
Yeah. See, however, I'm not like a Batman like crazy guy. Like I don't have to have everything Batman. So I will be fine without Batman Full Moon.
Batman Full Moon.
No, I don't have Batman Full
Lynn,
Moon.
That particular the Neil Adams short story is beautiful. It's in one of those. Remember DC used to print those 100-page specials.
Yeah.
If you can find that again, it's like every single page and panel is just beautiful stuff.
No, I know that story. As a matter of fact, as you're saying that, I can see the 100-page book that the cover of it, and that's fine. That's fine. And you know, it's Neil Adams, and it's Neil Adams at the height of his power. So like, yeah, that is some beautiful stuff.
We told y'all it'd be comic talk.
Hey. Like just sit down. It's coming. The movie's coming. But yeah, Neil Adams is gorgeous. But Rodney Barnes is not trying to be Neil Adams. Like
Well, he's the writer.
Okay, right. Well, okay, he's not trying to be Denny O'Neil. Denny O'Neil is like kind of like, you know,
Right.
he's just playing around in it.
Right.
Rodney he's trying to take your heart.
Right.
I don't need my heart taken.
Right,
I got Batman Brave and the Bold with Batman teaming up with Aquaman to save all the tuna. Like
Right,
I don't need him like just turning into werewolves and fighting Lon Chaney.
Right.
No.
Okay, well, I'll read it and I'll report.
Yeah, you read it.
I'll report back to the class.
Yeah, come on.
All right.
Yeah. So you can do horror comics, but you
Right,
can't
but
do
I
horror
can't do
movies.
the movies, see?
You're the exact opposite.
I was about to say that's why we work. So while he watches movies, I read the comics.
Yeah.
Together we solve mysteries.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, that is our email.
Thank you, one and all, for the emails.
Thank you, missionaries. If you have a thought that you want to share with us, please feel free to send us an email at micheauxmission@gmail.com. That's MICHEAUX MISSION@gmail.com. And now,
just an addendum, because I just saw George recommends Bitter Root. I don't think Bitter Root is a horror comic.
I don't consider that a horror.
Yeah.
I have all
You should absolutely be reading Bitter Root. I just want to get that in.
No, Bitter Root. See, like Bitter Root, I have all of Bitter Root. I have Abbott, which has like more of a supernatural bend to it.
Abbott is at work too.
Yeah, Abbott is
I
at
love
work.
Abbott. Yeah, I love Abbott.
You know,
yeah.
but it's not.
It's not horror.
It's not horror.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's some stuff. I read stuff, George.
All right.
George always trying to come at somebody. I know what you try to do, George. Be quiet. Sit down.
But thank you, missionaries.
Don't think missionaries. All right. Don't thank George.
Thank you, George. Why can't I thank George? I like George.
George's trying to be slick.
Oh, for God's
I know what he's doing. I see you, George.
That's what the voices in your head are telling you.
No, they're telling me to move on to the Game of Kings.
Game of Kings.
6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin. Six Degrees of D'Urville Martin, where I give Vincent 2 actors and he has 6 films or less to connect them to D'Urville Martin, that star of many 70s films, including the one that we just mentioned.
Oh, well, the Watermelon Man, but if you just keep it in theme, he's also in one of the greatest horror films of all time, Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
That's like one of the second ones. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. All right. And luckily for Vincent, he has our very special guest, comic book artist Eric Battle, here for the Summer of Comics as his lifeline.
All right.
For tonight's D'Urville Martin. Vincent, we are going to keep this in theme.
In theme.
Eric will have us reviewing Bones and All from 2022.
Bones and All.
Which is a romantic tale of cannibalism.
Yes. Yeah. That is actually true.
Yeah, swig that
Eat,
around
pray,
for a
love.
little bit.
It's a beautiful love story.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful love story. It's a coming of age story.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's cannibals.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my.
I say, eat, pray, love.
Right.
Exactly. So, keeping it in theme.
Even in theme, is it going to be famous cannibals?
No.
Okay. All right.
We're reviewing Bones and All. So, Vincent, in 6 films or less, connect D'Urville Martin to the star of the film Bones,
Okay.
Snoop Dogg.
Okay. I assume I can't use Bones.
Cannot use Bones.
Okay, because Pam Grier's actually in Bones.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I just got to use Snoop. All right. You can actually get to Snoop really fast.
Really, really fast. I should have took the other movie off the
Let's
block,
see if. But you know what? Let's do something interesting. D'Urville Martin. Let me make sure, because I think both of them are in Bottle Rocket. I'm pretty sure both of them are in Bottle Rocket. D'Urville Martin is in Five on the Black Hand Side with Leonard Jackson. Leonard Jackson is in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is in I Spy with not Luke, but
Owen.
Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson is in Bottle Rocket with his brother Luke.
Yes.
And then Luke is in Old School with Snoop. Snoop makes an appearance in Old School.
He absolutely does. Very good, Vincent.
There you go.
Well done.
You could have gone Starsky and Hutch pretty quickly, and then, of course, Training Day. You get to him immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could have
All
as
right.
well.
But okay, Snoop.
You could have also used the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, where Snoop Dogg voices the gambler.
You learn something new every day. This is why you got to get out of bed every morning.
Absolutely. Or you could have used The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2.
That's a large, unwieldy title for a film that probably wasn't that good.
Yes. Probably why Snoop Dogg played himself.
Snoop Dogg plays himself. Yeah.
Got me for 5 minutes.
Sure.
All right. Well done, Vincent.
All right.
All right. Now, next. Keeping it in theme.
Okay.
We are reviewing Bones and All.
Bones and All.
So, in 6 films or less, connect D'Urville Martin
to
the star of the film And Justice for All.
Oh, Pacino?
Al Pacino.
Oh, my goodness. That's a really target-rich environment. How do I want to do Al? Because I feel like we've done Al Pacino. How can I get to Al Pacino in a way I've never gotten to Al Pacino?
Well, all right. How about this?
No. I got it. D'Urville Martin is in the final come down.
Yes.
With Billy D. Williams.
Yes.
Who is, of course, in The Empire Strikes Back with Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Who is in The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
Tommy Lee Jones is in Batman Forever.
Yes.
With Chris O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. Who is in Scent of a Woman.
Oh, okay.
With Al Pacino.
Very good. Very good. Well done, Vincent.
Chris O'Donnell. The most vanilla of Chris's.
Is he even considered one of the Chris's anymore?
Chris O'Donnell isn't even. He has fallen out of the Chrisocracy.
Yes. Nobody. No. Well done, Vincent. All right.
There you go.
Okay. Well, that is how you play. You didn't even have to go to your lifeline.
I didn't. You want to play, Eric? You can get to Al Pacino?
No, I was impressed. I'm impressed.
You don't want to do it, though.
You don't want to do it. You're like, I'm good. I'm
not a weirdo. Go.
Real quick, I also noticed in the chat that someone was mentioning that they love your deep cut Cosby Show shirt.
Yeah.
I don't see. And your shirt says the wretched big fun.
Oh yeah. That's right. Vanessa snuck out and saw the wretched in Baltimore.
That's right.
Yeah. The big fun.
That's right.
Big fun in Baltimore.
Because doesn't she come try to sneak back in the house?
No, her girlfriend's brother's car gets stolen.
Oh.
And they keep going, and then they go to the concert, and their tickets get stolen. It's terrible. But Claire almost jumped on her ass. Claire almost jumped on top of her.
Yeah, because
it's a great Felicia Rashad episode.
All I remember is Felicia Rashad's like, "Oh, you're going for the wretched big fun."
Yeah. Tell me about the big fun. It's
the
wretched. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
Because you are a huge Cosby Show.
I am. Cliff Huxtable ain't drug and rape nobody.
Okay, fair.
It's the truth. He didn't.
Well, all right.
Except for that weird barbecue sauce.
I'm about to say. He talks about it on the show.
That was a tricky episode with the barbecue sauce that made everybody all lovey-dovey. It's like, what's happening here, Dr. Huxtable? But please continue.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but I didn't want to go there. So let me ask you.
Okay.
Because there definitely was a point where I stopped watching.
Sure.
The Cosby Show, and then I probably stuck with it. It ran like what, 7?
I think 7 years.
So I probably stuck with it the first 4, maybe.
Sure.
A little into the.
I mean, obviously that's the.
So is the sweet spot? If I wanted to do a rewatch of the Cosby Show, should I rewatch the first 4 seasons and stop, or should I rewatch the first 2 and stop?
I mean, definitely the first 4. I think it's. I mean. The Wretched is like the 5th or 6th season.
I thought that was no.
Vanessa.
Oh, that's right. It's Vanessa. It's not Denise.
Yeah, it's Vanessa. Yeah, Denise has actually come back.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, that's right. It is Vanessa that gets in that trouble. I'm seeing. You're You're saying Vanessa, but I'm seeing Denise.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
See, now that you've brought it up, and then we go and review. I find Vanessa the most fascinating Huxtable child because she was wild.
well, yeah.
Vanessa did makeup. Vanessa smoked. Vanessa was out late with the boy. Vanessa brought home that old ass man from college dabness. Vanessa snuck out and saw the wretched. Like Vanessa was wild.
Yeah, she was.
So
Well, she was,
the middle child.
even though technically she's not the middle child, but she is the middle.
No, she's smack that. Oh, right.
Technically, Theo's the middle
Theo's
child.
yeah.
But I,
Yeah.
I was going to say that too. I was like, well,
Yeah.
technically she's not. But
Yeah.
but she's that middle of the girl.
Right.
You would say. So,
That's
yeah.
Vanessa was drinking. Vanessa got drunk.
Vanessa did
Yeah,
everything.
Vanessa was wild.
She did
So
everything.
I was fascinated by Vanessa.
And quiet as kept. I think Tempest Bledsoe was probably one of the better actor of the children. I think Malcolm Jamal Warner grew into a good actor, but I think immediately she was the better actor because I think like she immediately had the comedic
Had
timing.
that pop, and she was in. That's not a bad argument.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yes, if you're saying 2 or 4, I would pick 4.
So go up to season 4.
I mean, I would go like I
You would do the whole thing,
right, because I enjoy when Pam and Charmaine like.
Yeah, but I'm not going that far.
All right.
But I think I can get into 4.
Okay.
I'm going to try.
Hey man, dude.
Is it out there anymore?
Look.
You got it
I
on
think
DVD,
it's floating
don't you?
around. I'd actually like the first 3 seasons, maybe.
Oh, there you go. That's all I need.
Yeah, but it's floating around.
All right.
All right.
Oh, thank you for being patient, Eric.
Hey, Eric. Len decided to have it off. I mean, hey, I have the T-shirt, so we just talk. Eric's here to have big fun with us.
Again, I'm enjoying the conversation. Yes.
Big fun in Zoom.
Big fun in Zoom.
But it is now time for our review
Yes.
of Bones and All. Bones and All, a 2022 romantic horror film directed by Luca Guadagnino from a screenplay by David Kaganovich, based on the 2015 novel Bones and All by Camille DeAngelis, set in the late 1980s. The film stars Taylor Russell and Timothy Chalamet as a pair of young cannibals who develop feelings for each other on a road trip across the United States. The movie also stars Michael Stolberg, David Gordon Green, Andre Holland, and Mark Rylance in a film that was brought to the mission by our very special guest, comic book artist Eric Battle.
Yeah.
As we kick off the summer of comics. Eric, what have you to say of Bones and All?
Again, I really enjoyed it. I've watched it multiple times, but that it was a horror romance. It caught me off guard because it's very rare that you find anything that mixes the two.
Very much. Yeah,
very, very well.
Yes, it's very rare that you find ones that mix, and you just said it like that successfully blend them, right? Where you could go in this film and appreciate the romance of it, as well as be disturbed by the horror, because I guess ostensibly this lives in the land of horror because of the subject title, and there are some disturbing images in the film, but it probably is nothing more graphic than you would see on The Walking Dead as far as that goes. But I think the first thing that struck me about this film was the Taylor Russell as and kind of like the lead role, I guess, of a sort of I'm drawing a blank on the character's name. Marin.
Karen with an M.
Marin.
Yeah, Marin.
I had the first time I saw her, she played Judy in Netflix Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that series.
Absolutely ridiculously better than it had to be.
Had any right
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
And she was phenomenal.
She was.
That. And the second she appears on this screen in this film, I'm like, okay, I'm here. And then they introduce her father, played by Andre Holland, who I contend has, at least to my eyes, not given a performance that I have not enjoyed yet.
No.
Every time I see that,
No.
man, he is the welcome on screen. So I am there, right there, just for their relationship and the complication of all that. And because I said it at the top of the show, this is a romance, it's a horror, but it also is a bit of a coming of age story because she is dealing with the fact that she is a cannibal. This is not something that's brought on by some radioactivity that's living by her house or anything like that. This is who she is.
Right. For clarification, she has to eat. They call them eaters, capital E. She has to eat people.
Right. And you're saying they call them because there are
it's a community, not a community.
Not community, but there are people
right.
that this is what they are.
Right.
This is how they are. This is what they are, how they were born. From birth. And you learn in the movie, it dissects like there's this history. There's a little bit almost of like a mythology.
Yeah, just enough.
Just enough.
Just
enough. Just to feed you. It's really, really beautiful world building.
Yeah,
that is done in this movie. Go ahead.
Oh, I loved everything about this film. Like this was an absolute utter delight for me. I think top to bottom, soup to nuts, every aspect of this production was amazing. I thought the script, you're talking about the world building, but just the script was amazing. This cast is immaculate. Absolutely immaculate. Every single person in this cast. Like you talk about Taylor Russell, who obviously is the lead. I have to say, I know who Timothée Chalamet is.
Yeah, you're
but
a Dune
I think
guy.
the only work I've seen him in is Dune.
Oh, really?
But I know he's worked. Like I know he's worked.
Yeah.
But I understood it today. Like now I get the Timothée Chalamet thing. You mentioned Andre Holland, who, as you said, is just remarkable in the fairly short amount of time he's on screen. Chloe Sevigny plays her mother in one scene and is amazing. We mentioned that there are other eaters that they run into. The main one played by Mark Rylance, who plays Sully, who, once again, amazing. There's one scene with two other eaters.
Michael Stahlberg
and Jake Horowitz. Again, Jake Horowitz, I think, was the guy at the carnival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about, and I do want to get their names because, again, everyone was excellent. Oh, David Gordon Green.
Okay.
Excellent. But I think what impressed me the most was the direction.
Yeah.
This Luca
Guadagnino,
and I do apologize if I mispronounce his name. I thought the tone that he established in this film was remarkable.
Right from the top.
From the scene to scene, she goes to a slumber party.
Oh my God.
She meets another eater. They have the two eaters they meet. I mean, scene.
Wait, because you kind of ran that. She goes to a slumber party.
Well, I almost don't want to ruin it. I mean, no, because it really is.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
The
all right.
the tone of this film is amazing. I know you said you like horror movies, Eric, and I know you said, but I almost don't want to call this horror. Like, it really is almost suspense.
Yeah.
But along those lines, I mean, obviously it kind of crosses over in horror.
Yeah, it's horror.
But the biggest compliment I can give this film, it reminds me of two of my absolute favorite horror movies, supernatural movies of all time. Let the Right One In and Near Dark. Where, again, as much as it's horror, as much as they're using the conceit of the cannibal, it is really just almost a mediation on the unease that you feel with a stranger.
Exactly.
And with the unknown. And yeah, I cannot recommend this. I mean, I know I'm jumping the gun, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah, and how that embracing of the of who you are, or in that discovery that she takes with Timothée Chalamet's character.
Yeah,
where they're both discovering things about one another, which leads them closer together.
Right.
Which is how it sounds corny, but that's what love is.
Right.
That's exactly what it is, and it's beautifully displayed on this movie, in this film. I agree with you with everything about this film, and I'm curious if you felt this, Eric, because I know that you brought this up. I know how high the high regard that you give for this film. My one knock on the film, and I'll respect your not wanting to give some stuff away. It is still a fairly new film, 2022, and it is a film that rewards the less you know going in. Right. You know that they're cannibals, and you know what to look for.
Reward a rewatch, as Eric said.
Right.
Yeah.
But my one knock on this film is that I feel that Marin's story, there's a point where the film, it ties her, she has a full arc, right? But there are times, I feel that the movie at times maybe rushes to the end of her arc, so that so much of the rest of the film is about Timothée Chalamet's character, his world, his arc, continuing to the detriment of her story. And I felt that, especially because, one, she is our lens into this world from the very beginning of the movie.
Right.
We're introduced to her story with her father, which Andre Holland, not long in this movie, but a definitive presence that is felt and that is flashbacked and noted throughout the rest of the film. I feel like that arc kind of gets a little bit of a short rift in its tying up of its bow. And because Timothée Chalamet, through no fault of his own, and to be fair, his star was already on the rise in 2022.
Sure.
Because he had already had Dune. Sure. He is a producer on this film.
Yeah.
So he's one of the reasons why it gets made. He comes in, and you're right. You see it.
Right.
You see what we experienced from a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
With Timothée Chalamet in this movie.
That's a really good reference.
This is the next one.
This is the one, right?
This is the next one.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
And all right, bruh, you've earned it. And I feel that light
kind of overshines
her story. I wonder if you felt that as well.
Well, yeah, like you, I hadn't before the Dune movies. I hadn't seen much of him, of his, Yeah, I can see that. I can see that a little bit. You know, but I was still satisfied with how, her how
How her
the
story.
story ends. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm
Um,
I'm I'm satisfied with the way that it ends. I
mhm,
just felt that her story ends, and then there is still a considerable amount more of the movie.
mhm.
So it's like now it really is about, I guess to a degree, it is about them, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of him in that.
Well, I think part of your feel is, frankly, Timothy Chalamet just outshining the rest of the cast, and this is no knock to Russell because
Not at all.
because she's a great actress, but as you said, like you really do get the pop with Timothy Chalamet. But I guess the way I interpret it, like I had these sort of two themes with these eaters. A, abandonment.
Okay.
Because this is something that just kept coming up, like you know, both of her parents abandoned her.
Yeah.
Even Sully is like an ongoing thing with Sully, like you just left me there, and abandonment, and then B, trying to forge a relationship with other people when you're basically a monster.
Yeah.
And I guess what my read with her arc was that at one point she runs off from Timothy Chalamet's character, but then she comes back, which is her kind of breaking this cycle of people abandoning each other. And then there's that beautiful almost montage towards the end where they've kind of carved out
A little
a little life. So now they have a relationship. So while I do agree that just because of the dynamic of the two actors, you feel like it's Timothy Chalamet's story, I still felt like it was her story since we started with her. And frankly, we end with her.
We do.
So
We do. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. I could be wrong. I do want to come back to the Sully character, Mark Rylance.
oh my God, so good.
So good. So good. What I liked about that character, who is the antagonist of the film,
Yeah, sure.
right? But you say it like that because you kind of feel for him a little bit.
Look.
You kind of feel, because the whole idea of how these eaters, which I loved, can smell each other,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like in their sensing of each other from wild distances,
Right. The old, yeah.
and the strangeness that the loneliness that life creates for
Yeah.
each of them,
Yeah.
then start to become like almost like an affect on all of them.
Right.
You know, like we don't see it with Marin because we're still very early on in her,
In her journey.
In her journey, but you can see it starting to come in Timothy Chalamet's character.
Right. His character Lee
Lee.
is already, yeah.
Right. But Mark Ryland's character, it's all the way there. When he meets Mark Stahlberg, he's all the way there.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Stahlberg, excuse me. But how Sully is reaching out for some type of companionship.
Right.
You can feel for him.
Right. It's almost like they're almost literally feral, because
that's the word.
because they've you know, you get the sense that they all either run away or are cast out, and they're just by themselves. And as you said, even when we first meet Timothy Chalamet's character Lee, he's not quite right.
Yeah.
Like he's, you know, as you said, Sully is the ghost of Christmas yet to come for him if he
Right,
keeps
right.
going this way. And again, I love this sort of this sort of examination of the power of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even that wonderful first scene where you know me, you have that wonderful reversal where she goes to this sleepover and it's her. And, we haven't talked about this as a black movie, but you know me, I'm sitting and the white girls are telling her to sneak out her house. And
I know
she's the only black girl at the sleepover. And, I was getting my get out on. Like I was sitting going, yeah, you about to learn something today. Mm-hmm. Go ahead to that sleepover. You about to learn something. Little did I know she was the one who was the teacher.
She's the teacher in that one.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
Even that, she was reaching out.
Right.
She reaching out for friendship, and these people were reaching out to her.
Yeah, and in that she loses herself.
Right.
And that's basically what happens.
Much like her friend loses a finger. I know. You set me up.
Well, did she lose her stuff, or did she find, because she found out who she really was? So, and to me, it seemed like she kind of found herself, because it was like not realizing, really, that was the first time when she really realized what she was.
Oh, realizing that this is
Right.
something that she can't help.
Yeah.
Because it only happened a few times.
Right. I mean, it happened long enough that her dad was locking her in the room.
Well, that's true. True that.
Again, like there's a version of this movie, and I have to say, I immediately said, oh, this is a riff on Let the Right One In.
Mm-hmm.
And then when her father leaves, it was just such a pleasant, rewarding experience where I said, oh, we're somewhere new.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there's a version of this film, a weaker version, but even the weaker version, like as I'm saying it, it was like, wow, I'd kind of like to see that, where Andre Holland plays her dad and they're going from town to town, staying in front of this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where again, it's just like a play on Let the Right One In, but it's like it's Andre Holland and Taylor Russell. It's like, wow, that's probably pretty good, but
yeah. Bones and All, the series, that's what it would be.
right.
The movie,
Right.
Is there a scene that you love this film, Eric? Is there a scene that you love or is very memorable for you?
Well, yeah, that slumber party. It's like, again, because it was so unexpected.
Yes.
And just the way it all unfolded, it was like, again, that's just a shocker.
Yeah, it does come out of the blue, because it sets you up. It sets you up for what you think. I don't know about y'all. I thought I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
And then I was like, I was you, E, because I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to remind myself, oh, this movie is about cannibals.
Look,
Right.
Again, scene to scene, what I love so much is I was on shaky ground. I was like I never knew where the film was going.
Mm-hmm.
I never quite knew. I think even with Sully, there's this wonderful exchange where she, the subtext becomes the text, where she says, I don't trust you. And whether I'm wrong or I'm right, this is the way it is. And when you see this relationship between the two of them, you're not quite sure where this is going.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Even with Timothée Chalamet's character Lee, until the very end, I wasn't sure what was going to happen between the two of them.
Oh, I was kind of, I felt them falling for one another.
I didn't want to drop my guard, because by then I realized, again, these eaters were not socialized. Like they did not play by the rules that the rest of us play by.
Yeah, I guess I hear you. I felt that once they go back to his hometown and she's there for that initial run-in with his sister, I felt there's like, I think what I'm sensing is happening is real.
Right.
Between them. I like it. Now, try not to cut through. All right, spoiler alert
Spoiler alert.
for this film. So if you don't want to know anything else about the film,
Go ahead and watch it. We're going to recommend it.
we
Go ahead
recommend
and
Bones
watch
and
it.
All.
Come back.
Go see it. Spoiler alert from here on. The ending of the film,
Yes.
okay, where they have it out with Sully.
Yes.
And Sully had revealed earlier on in the film that of all the people that he eats, he keeps it looks like a lock of hair.
Yes.
And he ties them into this long, huge braid of hair.
Right. And then he doesn't understand why
People think
why Marin is uncomfortable with him.
uncomfortable with him.
Don't you want to see my long braid of hair rope that I've been making?
Yes. As he stands there in his tighty whitey,
Right.
and his face in a war paint of blood.
Come on, Marin. Get in the van. What could go wrong with you getting in the van with me? I'm a middle-aged man who eats people that has a long rope made out of hair. Come on, get in the van. Why are you so hesitant?
It's an adventure.
Right.
Choose your adventure.
Come on, Marin. Have I mentioned my rope made out of hair?
Have I mentioned that I've been following you
Right.
across the
yeah.
country?
Because I can smell you. I've been following you by smell. Come on, Marin, get in the van.
I saw your little boy toy drive
Right,
off
right.
not long ago.
Come on, get in the van.
Oh, man.
Like, dude, read the room. Does come on, get in the van ever work under any circumstance?
Only on Scooby-Doo.
Right. Come on, get in the van. Go ahead.
Cut to the end
Yes.
where we learn that it looks like there has been an addition made to his
Yes.
braid.
Yes.
And the addition looks like it's a blonde lock.
Yes.
Blonde lock of hair. And I believe that we are to assume, because we already know that Sully has been following them
Yeah, I mean, they say
all over the
Yeah,
country,
they say it.
and going to pretty much every spot that they go to,
Yeah.
that he followed them to where Lee's home was.
Right. Remember, we told y'all, go ahead, watch, come back, spoilers.
Spoiler.
All right, go ahead.
And has killed Lee's sister
Yes. And eating her.
and eaten her.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to, because it doesn't, the movie doesn't tell you definitively that.
No, I think at one point in the Hurly Burly, either Lee or Marin says Kayla. He got Kayla. Like, they say it.
Oh, maybe I missed that.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, because it's the Hurly Burly, is a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Going on in that end fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, cool. I just didn't see them like acknowledge it, so I
Right.
wanted to make sure.
Right.
Like, that's kind of a little real ambiguous, but all right.
Yeah.
Cool. I understand.
Yeah.
All right, though. So, well, we've already recommended the film, but
Yes.
let's go to Eric first.
Let's go
'cause
to Eric
He
first.
brought this film
This
onto
is
the
what
mission.
you have brought.
Do you consider, Eric, Bones and All a black film?
I don't know that I would consider it a black film, but because of the lead actress, I was like, yeah, that's enough for me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was enough for me. So
Okay. So you would land on that it's a black film.
yeah.
What about you?
I'm also going to land on it just because of the lead in Andre Holland. There's one moment, arguably two, but definitely one moment that I think was informed by race. At one point, Marin goes and visits her maternal grandmother because we find out that Marin is biracial, and her maternal grandmother is white. and the grandmother tells her that her parents, Andre Holland and Chloe Savania, met in college. And she says very quickly, her father and I were against the union, against them being together. And she doesn't say why, but I immediately said, it's just because Andre Holland was black. And then it kind of, that's it's like, really your daughter is a cannibal, but the brother is. That's what I said. Oh, your daughter eats people, but you upset about the black guy.
That's great.
And then when she's in the diner and the police go by and there's this beat where she's wondering whether or not she's on the police's radar. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe that could have informed it as well. Right. Although, in the film's defense, like the whole film is about this community staying under the radar. But, quite frankly, I think it would have been interesting, not necessarily better, but interesting if they would have leaned into it. Like I do think this sort of
lean into the race.
Yeah, like this conceit that these people are sort of nomadic and go from town to town and they go to small town I think that works differently for a white man that looks like Timothy Chalamet and a black girl on her own. Mm-hmm. Like they're in Kentucky, they're in Iowa, they're in Montana. She's going to these small towns. And I kept waiting for something. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that they weren't going to address that aspect of it. And obviously it was enough on there to hold my attention. Yeah. So, but yeah, I consider it a black movie just because we get to talk about it on the show mission.
Yeah, I guess to Eric's point, and I guess you mentioned this too, Taylor Russell being the lead, and despite Timothy Chalamet's shine even at this moment in 2022, she is number one on the call sheet. Mm-hmm. So she is the lead of the film. So her being the lead, so boom, lands it as a black film, nonstop. I do wish that there was a little bit more to the Andre Holland, that dynamic, even if because you get some kind of flashback flashes, even if some of those were maybe spelled out a little bit more. So, not necessarily him having to be there in present day, right? But even if some of those moments are.
Well, I love the conceit of them showing him when she plays the tape that he leaves.
Yes.
I would have loved it if, instead
if that had continued.
Right. Instead of 2 days of shooting, they had done 4 days of shooting with him and then just intercut these moments of him talking on the tape.
I would have liked that too.
Great. But I mean,
but that's a very
if Andre Holland is in it for an hour, you want him in there an hour and a half. If he's in there an hour and a half, you want him in there for 2 hours. Right. So it's never enough.
Yeah.
So,
but at the end of the day, I definitely would still land on that it's a black film.
Here's you go with the black film, and now bring in another film. This would be a wonderful double feature with The Girl with All the Gifts.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because I will say this about the blackness. That is a very evocative image. That black girl with that blood all over her. Yeah. Like I think, going back to something like Near Dark or even The Lost Boys, like this image of the white male predator or Sinners, like the white male predator with the bloody mouth is something that you see a lot. You don't see it as much with a black female character. So I thought that was very evocative. And once again, it reminded me of The Girl with All the Gifts.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that would be a good double feature.
Yeah,
yeah.
Watch in the daytime.
I think you could watch this at night. I think you could watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll watch this at night.
You'll
watch this in the daytime.
I'll watch it, and you can read the.
And I'll be reading my comic book. I'll be sitting next to you reading the comic book.
And
I'll be like this.
Watching in the daytime. With all the lights on and all the shades up.
No, in the sunroom.
In the sunroom. That's right.
Oh, nice. All right, well.
So I guess we got to do it right.
What?
Eric, would you recommend Bones and All?
Absolutely. Without question.
There you go. We already did it.
I would absolutely recommend Bones and All. I mean,
Dylan, did we not already recommend the movie?
I think we have to actually say it. We would indeed recommend this film very
We
much.
did say it.
Okay, all right.
You even said it before the spoiler.
I know. I like to, we ended same way. Nice and neat. Put the bow on it.
Oh, God. Eric.
Yes.
He's so polite. Yes. He's so polite.
Because he didn't run away when he was 8 because he was eating people. And he had to learn how to talk to people in the woods. Let me show you my rope made out of people's hair. It's like, dude.
Pull it.
Pull it. It's very strong. It won't tear.
It won't tear.
Then he goes in the kitchen and he's making the Cornish hens all good. What was he doing with the Cornish hens? What was the deal with the Cornish hens, Len?
Garnish?
I was like, this is the creepiest.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Eric, for bringing us Bones and All. Thank you for joining us on the show, man.
It's been my pleasure. Again, thanks for having me.
Oh, man. Well, you're coming back in October.
Yes.
Well,
absolutely.
If everything is on point.
Right.
Don't come back in here with nothing to sell. But
no,
we're here for promoting.
Right.
Everything should be ready by then.
All right. At least one of these. He's got like 8 things going on, man. Don't let the banners fool you. He's got 10 other things on his whiteboard that he can't talk about. But it's all good. Thank you so much, my brother. Really appreciate you stopping in.
Thank you again.
And how can the people get in touch with you and check in with Eric Battle?
Maybe like maybe Instagram, maybe.
I'm in the streets.
I say, Eric, what is that?
I'm in the streets.
You don't get in touch with Eric Battle.
Eric Battle
gets in touch with you.
Just stand still, ladies. I'll be right there.
It's like the A-team over here. If you can find him.
Again, like, with social media, it's like I'll pop on like in the wee hours of the morning, but it's like it's just all too distracting to me. So,
it's all too distracting for me. Oh my God, Eric.
Oh my really, Len? Come on now.
I thought he had like a website, a Twitter, something. No,
he's just got trap doors in his house.
Just listen for me in the wind.
Just smell me.
Oh, no.
Is that fuck me?
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, E, man.
Thank you.
If you want to get in touch with Eric, just go outside and burn a E on a piece of paper, I guess.
Hey,
Say Eric 5 times in the
right. Say Eric Battle 5 times in the mirror.
Oh, that's good.
Oh God! I see Eric just show up with some bees coming out of his mouth.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes. Thank you, Eric. All right. On to work. All right. Next week, the Summer of Comics continues. But before we tell you about what we're going to be reviewing next week and our very special guest, who is Eric is well acquainted with, I invite you to get in touch with us. You can email us at micheauxmission@gmail.com, micheauxmission@gmail.com. You can also find us on all the social media. We're on social media at Micheaux Mission, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. We're right there. You can look us up. You'll see us. Okay? We're easy to find. We have a website, MicheauxMission.com, where you can find out about our events, find out, listen to past episodes of the show, and find out where you can listen to us. Wherever you find podcasts, the Micheaux Mission makes it easy for you to get in touch with us. We're right there on Apple, Spotify.
I like take a conch outside and
That's right.
The Micheaux Mission is on YouTube. You can see us. We're right here in Philadelphia in studio. You can see us on YouTube, where you can hit the bell, subscribe, and be notified of when we go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace. If you want to book yourself in one of the fabulous studios that they have here at Young Junk, you can get in touch with our guy Dylan at youngjunk.com. That's DYLAN at youngjunk.com. The Micheaux Mission is also a proud member of The Podglomerate, thepodglomerate.com. They make podcasts work, such as ours, which will be returning next week for the Summer of Comics, as Vincent and I welcome longtime missionary, two-time guest on the Micheaux Mission, and the holder of all of Eric Battle's phone numbers, comic book artist supreme himself, and Stephen Harris.
Stephen Harris
will be here.
Yes.
On the Micheaux Mission on Zoom, because he's from out of state. So he'll be on Zoom because he can't make it down to Philadelphia on that Tuesday night. But he will be here right where you see Eric. There will be and Stephen Harris as we review Dope next week for the first time on YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll be reviewed, because Dope we reviewed early in the mission.
Dope was early.
I think within our first 20 episodes.
Yeah, it sure was.
So we're going to be reviewing Dope for the first time on YouTube with and Stephen Harris next week here on the Micheaux Mission, as the Summer of Comics gets to flowing. Until then, he's Vincent, I'm Len, that's Eric, and in parting we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.
Good night.
Don't try.